everyone, it's Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am coming at you with a Confessions of a Paper Addict design team layout. So I am working with that super cute cut file called Snap that you saw just at the start of the video. And then that word happy, it's kind of like my inspiration piece. So I'm going to pull my colours from and sort of help work out the direction I'm going with my mixed media and how I'm going to back my cut file. That word happy comes from Cocoa Vanilla Studios collection, and that's kind of where those beautiful bright colours and stuff is totally where I'm going to draw my inspiration from. And I really loved the idea of adding that word happy to create Happy Snap as my title. So I've just put out some gesso, and I am slapping on some gesso in the general location of where my cut file is going to go, and then therefore where I want my mixed media to be. So you can see my cut file is going to sit just across the top there. And then I've pulled out my watercolor paints, and I've got this cute little sea sponge that came in one of my newer watercolor palettes, and it is amazing. I've never used a sea sponge before, and I am hooked. So I just got some clean water, and I'm gently splashing this clean water straight onto my gesso. The gesso is a little bit wet still, but it's okay. It's totally fine. But that's why the water went cloudy. And then still with my sea sponge, I've just got a little bit of the colour of the watercolour that I want to use. So I've started with the navy. And again, I'm just sort of making a straight line splodge of that in the general vicinity, gosh, my words today, in the general vicinity of underneath each letter. So obviously I've got navy going on underneath the S, and then I've got this sort of darky pink color going on underneath the N. So each time I'm cleaning off my sea sponge by like sort of squeezing and let go inside the water, and then making sure I've still got quite a decent amount of water on my sea sponge, just to really make sure when I'm putting this watercolor on, it's really quite runny. But honestly, it's so cruisy and so breezy with this sea sponge. I find it is a lot easier than trying to use a makeup brush. I am just hooked. I'm loving this sea sponge. So once I do all of my 5 colors, and as I said, these colours are specifically chosen from that word happy. I've then let that dry or whacked it with my heat gun. That's why the page just got a little bit warped. And then I've pulled out my Stickles paste, and I'm going to put this paste through a star stencil. And I'm going to put this paste through the star stencil all the way across the page on top of this mixed media, just to add a bit more bling and a bit more sparkle and a bit more highlight to this mixed media area. And this is going to be the base of where my cut file is going to sit. So there's going to be a lot of eye-grabbing attention around this cut file. So Stickles is super easy to work with. I have no drama working with my Stickles. In fact, I'm pretty stingy. I'm like trying to scrape every last little tiny bit because I don't want to waste any skerrick of these Stickles because they're so cute. I also have the Stickles that comes in a bottle. I'm not sure if it would work in the same way, if you could squirt out some Stickles on like a palette or something and then scrape it off that. I don't know if it's the same consistency, but I definitely want to try because I only have Stickles in this color in the paste, and it would be kind of cool to see if Stickles in other colors could go through my stencils as well. So I will give that a go and let you know how successful that is. So I'm just going to show you the process of me doing 2 because I'm pretty sure you guys know how to put stuff through stencils, and you don't need to see this another 2 more times because it's going to take a little while. So in just a second, I'm actually going to snap my magic fingers, and I'm going to be back with a finished cut file section of this layout. So I have made shaker pockets out of all of my word snap. I've fussy cut that word happy and I have glued that on. Now these shaker pockets, I started to film them and in the end I didn't keep it in because these took me hours to make. Mostly because I am crazy and I literally cut up sequins. So all of those little colours in there, the blue, the pink, pinky silver, the green, the red, or the dark pink, and the gold were literally round sequins that I cut into quarters. Yes, that is correct. I sat at my desk cutting teeny tiny sequins into quarters. Yeah. But I chose to do that because the word snap, especially like the word like the S, with the quite curvy, like if I put sequins in that, they weren't going to move. They weren't going to shake. And they were just going to end up looking like a big line of sequins in like a snake train all the way around the letter S. And that was not the look I was going for. I was going for this shaky, sequiny, the shaky feel of a shaker pocket. And I didn't own anything smaller. So, yes, I cut up sequins. We're going to move on now and talk about the amazing embellishing that is happening on my page right now. So, I have pulled out the ephemera from the Happiness collection from Cocoa Vanilla Studio. And I'm just going to use a really small amount to embellish around my page. Not all that much at all. And what I kind of do here is I actually kind of match tone on tone to my embellishing. Not like strictly speaking, but it pretty much ends up that way because those blue and pink flowers that I stuck up near my face, that's tone on tone there because the blue half is on the S and then the pink half is on the N. And then down here with Katie and the other two, I have got kind of a reddy orange colour and a yellow, or an orange. So I am kind of doing this tone on tone action here. Funny story about these photos. Well, it's not really that funny, but these are from 2014. I thought we were together at the time, but I don't think we are on more investigation. Katie is in Merimbula at the Merimbula Jazz Festival, and I thought I must be there because I always go to the Merimbula Jazz Festival, but apparently this year I didn't. And she had gone out to get some dinner before she went home, and she took this photo waiting for her takeaway and put it on her Instagram. I obviously saw said photo on her Instagram and went, haha, I'm hilarious, I can do that. And I must have been waiting for my dinner too because it's a weekend night. And I tried to pose exactly the same and take the exact same photo and post it on my Instagram. So mimicking Katie. So I just decided for this layout with this Happy Snap cut file, that was just perfect to be like, I'm being a smart aleck and trying to mimic my sister. So my journaling is going to be pretty fun on this one. So I'm just popping on the butterflies. So I just bend, I fold either side of the butterfly's body so that the wings are sticking up, but then I still have one flat part that I can work with to put my foam mounting tape. But let's just talk about those stickles for a second. See how shiny they are in the background? You can totally see every single one of those stars because it is just glimmering and sparkling away in the background. It is just such a cool product at the moment. I really like it. So I'm going to continue on with three more butterflies. Again, as I mentioned, in the tone on tone kind of color. And once those butterflies are down, then I'm almost finished with all the ephemera that I'm going to do because, as I said to you, I feel like there's so much sparkle, there's so much glitter going on. The cut file kind of doesn't really need me to do much else. It's really doing all the work for me. And it kind of is creating everything I need on this page. With the mixed media background, the cut file, and my 2 photos, I'm practically done. I actually absolutely could have got away with 0 ephemera. It's just that I enjoy, as most of us do, adding ephemera to my page because that's sort of the fun part for me. But if you are more of a minimal scrapper and ephemera is not really your thing, you could 100% get away with a cut file, some photos, and be done. The cut file definitely can do a lot of the talking for you on your page. It's really awesome the way that works. I hope you have been enjoying the cut file a day that is being released at the moment. I think it's really cool the way you actually get inspiration with every single cut file as well. So it's sort of giving you ideas on how you can use said cut file. Sometimes cut files look cool, but then you're not really sure how to execute them. So it's really cool to be able to see at least just one example of how we thought these cut files could be used on a page. Linked in the description box down below, you will find the link to the Etsy shop where you can check out all 500 cut files that are over there. You will also find a link directly to this particular cut file. You will also find a link to the Facebook group that Virginia has over on Facebook. I highly recommend checking out all 3 of those things just so you can see what is out and about. The Facebook group Virginia runs is just a really gorgeous group. Lots of nice, friendly people involved there where you can share your projects and just have a good old chat. And Virginia also gives out probably about 4 free cut files a month. So there's 2 over on the channel at the moment, on the Facebook group at the moment. So you definitely don't want to miss out. And there's also a really cool opportunity at the moment where Virginia's running a challenge. And if you are the challenge winner, you get to choose the cut file that you would like created. And Virginia will create that for you. So pretty awesome things happening over at the Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group at the moment. Do remember though, there is a secret question. It is not a difficult question, but please answer it. If you don't answer that question, you won't get through the requirements of the group. So definitely spend the time to write the literally 1-word answer you need to put in that question. Just a little tip. So I am splattering on my Heidi Swap Color Shine, and then you will see some close-up photos. I am so excited about this layout, you guys. I am super tickled pink with how it turned out. Those shaker pockets were a labor of love this time around with cutting out each of those sequins. What a crazy person I am. But look how super awesome they turned out. I really love it. I hope you got some inspiration from this. I hope if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the description box. I'm happy to help you out. And thank you so much for watching. Have a really happy, scrappy day. Bye, everyone.